So what is going on, guys? It's Triple G here, back with another Borderlands 3 video, and in today's video we're going to be going through our Gamma Burst Black build called Gamma Thirst. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week, and otherwise let's get straight into this video. So in order to complete our collection of builds on the channel, we are rounding off Flak with a Gamma Burst build. Now, Gamma Burst has some serious advantages over some other builds, with some drawbacks as well. So first of all, when using Gamma Burst, obviously it doesn't have that huge amount of damage and it is a stationary action skill. However, what it does allow you to do is it gives you a ton of survivability, as well as instant reviving your pet, which means that you get a free revive back if you spec into Lick the Wounds. So it does come with its own advantages. Let's have a look at the skill tree first, and then we'll get into the build itself. In terms of the pumpkin spice tree, we're going to be going all the way down to Megavore. Pretty standard looking tree here. We're going to be picking up all the usual suspects. Then onto the green tree, we're going to go down and we're going to be going to put 3 points into Hidden Machine, picking up Lick the Wounds, which is very important. And our class mod is going to give us a couple of points into Eager to Impress as well. No points in the purple tree, and then the blue tree, which is very important for this build. So we're going to be going all the way down to Dominance. We're going to be taking the Capstone, and we are going to be taking the Augments, Atomic Aroma, and Empathic Rage. Empathic Rage is important because it's an extra 20% damage. Endurance could work well here as well, but you tend to find that by the time that the Gamma Burst has run out, you've killed everyone in that area, and then you're moving on to the next area. Then onto the gear. So there is a debate on whether or not you should use URAD or use what we're using here, which is the Gamma Burst Active 115%. There are pros and cons for both, so let's go through them. The pro for using Gamma Burst is it's 115 rather than just 100. However, the drawback is that when you are on cooldown, you don't have this extra damage. Now, if you were to use URAD, you would then have to reduce your health by either using a front loader or using a Deathless. However, then you lose health gates, which is an issue, and URAD has been reduced now to just 100%. So you're not getting that additional huge jump that you did used to have. So there are pros and cons for each one. I prefer running the Pearl here and then having 115%. Like I said, most things are dead by the time that we've run out of our action skill, and with using head count, we are getting that action skill back very quickly. So in terms of the fact that we're using a ton of radiation damage, we need to cover that radiation weakness. So we have a couple of corrosive weapons here. We have a ×4 Monarch. I prefer the ×4 over the ×8, and a light show here in corrosive as well. So that will give us anything like armor bars, which radiation is weak to. That will give us that coverage. Then in terms of the main two weapons, you have this OPQ system and the Reflux. The Reflux is absolutely fantastic on this build for mobbing. It will crush everybody and everything in your path, and for those single targets, the OPQ is absolutely fantastic. Now, as we've taken Dominance, you will find at times that when an enemy has been dominated, the Reflux will bounce off you. It doesn't do any damage to you, but it will bounce off you using those splash damage chains. So OPQ will just take care of anything that has been taken over by Dominance. Then no surprises that we're taking a Revolter here. Then we have a Cloning Hex. Now this is just so we can get some of our action skills back a little bit faster if our Hex crits. Then we're going to be using a Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge. I will try and get a 72, but the safe file will have this 57 in for now. And then I have this Red Fang here, which is primarily for the OPQ, for that single target damage. We don't find any problems with using the Reflux, but there are some other comms in here. So we have this Red Fang in here as well. And if you're not fussed about enemies not looking at you, which is what the Red Fang does, if you don't know, if you have the Red Fang on, nobody even pays attention to you. It's just such a super chilled out build. And then you have a Cosmic Stalker here, a couple of very good ones, depending on the playstyle that you want to do. If you want to take that risk and get more damage, then there are some Cosmic Stalkers in this save file. And while we're on the subject of the save file, it will be in the save file section of the Discord. Link will be in the description if you want to just grab any of this gear on this file. So in terms of the gameplay loop, it's very, very simple. You're going to be popping Gamma Burst as often as it is, and then everything else is going to completely ignore you. And because nothing is looking at you, you get extra damage, and then you just kill everybody on the map. So it's really, really laid back, but don't be mistaken here. Just because we're not using a Cosmic Stalker doesn't mean that we're not going to be doing significant damage. This build still does a ton of damage, particularly when you're using the weapons that are in this video. Guys, that is it for today's video. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week, and otherwise I'll catch you on the flip.